Hello, everybody. This is Mark Sage, Executive Director of the area. And today I'm with Paul Davies, who is well known across the industry, has been an amazing kind of mentor for me from when I very first started with the area over 8 years ago. Paul was actively involved in one of the kind of leaders and starters and still helping out so much. Still the president of the area as well, Paul. So thank you for
Yeah.
all of that work and commitment. But yeah, thank you very much for your time today. I'm going to just ask you three quick questions and great to get your insights and thoughts on it.
All right.
So, Paul, maybe just introduce yourself and tell us how you got started in AR.
Yeah, sure, Mark. Well, thanks for having me on for the Fireside chat. I'm Paul Davies. I've been working actually in AR and with the area, AR since about 2006, which is kind of like a long time ago, it seems now. And the area, we were one of the founding members, so that was around 2013, I think 2014-ish, something like that. Um, my personal kind of start in augmented reality, I actually met another technical fellow at Boeing who was just exploring the space, and this was before really anyone was really focused or paying attention to AR, and VR was more of a thing back then. Um, and this technical fellow was able to get some internal research dollars, some funding to investigate potential use cases that Boeing would be interested in. And so we started a project together. It was called the Strategic Alliance for Augmented Reality back then. And we had no capability in self, no internal capability. So our plan was we were going to find other people who were working, universities who were doing some kind of feature tracking or image registration or some of the building blocks of AR, and see if we couldn't apply them internally to Boeing. And so I remember he gave me a paper to read. I've never heard of AR, and he gave me a paper, and so I read through this paper, and it was all talking about spatial registration of virtual content in real world. And the next day, I came in and he gave me a little test, and he said, "Well, what do you think's the hardest part?" And I wasn't expecting the test, and so we had a good chat, and I just really latched on. I just really got hooked on the concept, and I could immediately see the power of it and the benefit across so many different use cases. And since then, I've just been able to run with it. I've really made it my career so far, pursuing different use cases, developing the technology, and applying it to Boeing's manufacturing and other use cases. And yeah, it's been really fun. So, yeah.
And it's right there. You're a technical fellow based on all of the work you've done over those years as well. So,
That's
congratulations
right.
on being a kind of pioneer and leader within it. And just
Yeah,
another quick thing, you talked about you were founder members of the area, and you're right. In December this year, we're actually 10 years young.
yep,
So, which
yep.
is really impressive. So,
Where's the
it's
time go?
where does time go? Indeed, yeah, absolutely. So, it's really important within the area. We focus a lot about solving real business problems. So, I'd like to kind of ask you about what's the most important use case that you've been working on, and that's really brought the most benefit to Boeing.
Sure. So my work is mostly aimed in the manufacturing domain, in Boeing factories, building our own airplanes. So within there's lots of different use cases. I would, I think, highlight two of them that we've really found have been the most benefit. Um, so I've actually talked quite a bit about the wiring use case, and I think that's been published. A lot of folks will maybe have read those papers. That's where we have the most benefit. The most data, the most understanding of the benefit. And we found when we were using a HoloLens, an AR experience on a HoloLens, to guide mechanics on how to install wire bundles versus traditional methods, which would be maybe a tablet or a drawing. The jobs were typically done on average about 20% faster, and errors were reduced by about 80%. So that's really powerful. We have some internal projections about per airplane what that means. So that was a huge one, really, to save time and reduce errors at the same time. Is really powerful. But another one that's maybe more common than wiring, so the benefit to Boeing might kind of be quite big as well, is like installing or locating features or fasteners or getting the right fastener in the right hole. Is much easier to understand when you have a spatially registered view of that kind of content. So just showing little icons, say where things go. It doesn't have to be a 3D model. Could just be some instruction, little icon. The red ones are this fastener, the blue ones are that fastener, whatever. That's very powerful. So we have a lot of those use cases too. So if I was going to pick two, terms of the value, I would pick those two.